And we back, and we back, and we back, and we back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sauna IE. I'm your host, XO. If it's your first time listening to Sauna IE, welcome to the platform. Sauna IE deals with mental health. The ins and outs of mental health, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything you need to know about mental health, we talk about here on this show. But with this episode today, what you're going to be getting from this episode is learning about self-destructive habits and ways to improve them, as well as looking into yourself and seeing how you can improve with these self-destructive habits and ways to stop overthinking everything. And if you're like me, constantly overthinking every situation, every person, every relationship that you have, the next segment, or segment 2, will help you out on understanding ways to stop overthinking. But first, I usually like to kick off the episodes with some quotes of the day. And my first quote is, when you reach your goal, rest, stop, and congratulate yourself. And set a new goal. Life is about moving forward. We have to really take the time when we're pursuing something, when we're pursuing a goal and we accomplish that goal, we have to stop and rest and congratulate ourselves. Celebrate the win, celebrate that win, but know that it's time to set a new goal and to go after that new goal and keep moving forward. Because it's like the revolving door when it comes to life and it comes to goals. You'll enter the room, you'll accomplish that goal. Now it's like on to the next room to accomplish the next goal. But don't forget to stop and rest and take care of yourself as well as congratulate yourself. It seems like when we accomplish something, we have a goal, we accomplish that goal, we never celebrate it. We just like, all right, I set that goal. Now let me go move on to the next goal. But it's like, congratulate yourself on that goal that you accomplished, as well as looking in and seeing, okay, what did this goal teach me on this journey that I was on with this goal? Where were the failures? What were the successes? What was the lessons within this goal that I had to learn to accomplish this goal? So you can carry that over into the next goal and accomplishing that goal that you have set next. But when you reach your goal, stop, rest, and congratulate yourself. And set a new goal. Life is about moving forward. And my next quote is, stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking yourself, how might I learn and grow from this? When life happens, we all go through life. We all go through trials and tribulations. We all go through hard times, bad times, sad times, heartbreaks, job losses, breakups, losing people in life. And overall, our first question is, why is this happening to me? Instead of reframing our thinking and understanding that, how can I learn from this? What is this trying to teach me? How can I grow from this? Instead of dwelling on the negative part about it, because anything that happens in your life, it's always a lesson to learn. We have to take it as that and see it as that, instead of questioning, why is this happening? Wherever you're at right now, if you're in a good spot, a bad spot, an ugly spot, and you're asking yourself every day, why is this happening to me? Why is bad things happening to me? You have to really see it as, it's all for you to grow. They say new levels bring new devils. So every level that you're at, you're going to have to learn how to grow, how to evolve, how to become more open-minded to certain situations and not attaching yourself to every situation, every person, and learning to detach and learning, what am I learning from this situation? How can I grow from this situation, instead of dwelling on, why is this happening to me? But with that being said, we're going to give you a brief break and we're going to kick off the show with self-destructive habits and how to improve them. Thank y'all for tuning in to Sauna IE. Before we jump back into the show, I just want to give y'all advice or a tip on one of the apps that I use. One of the apps that I use that's really been helping me really become more aware and control and of my self-destructive habits is Calm, the Calm app. And really using Calm really to utilize my meditation, really digging in on the meditations and learning more about myself and about the ways and stuff, the things that I do. It is very beneficial, and I love the Calm app. I meditate in the morning, I meditate in the afternoon, I meditate at night, and really getting deeper clarity on who I am, what I do, the things that I do. I'm very grateful for the Calm app. So if you haven't downloaded the Calm app yet, go ahead and download it and let me know what you think. Let's get back to the show. self-destructive habits and ways to improve on them. Number one, complaining all the time. Did you know that complaining streaks your hippocampus, an area in your brain that's critical to problem solving and intelligent thought? Damage to the hippocampus is scary, especially when you consider that it's one of the primary brain areas destroyed by Alzheimer's. So complaining all the time. And you're like, oh man, I can't stop complaining. And it's like really just being aware of yourself in the moment and learning that complaining isn't good for you, especially for your brain. Like I said, it shrinks your hippocampus, and you constantly complaining about every little thing in your life isn't helping things get better. Because the more you complain, the more all that stuff enhances, and it as well as shrinks your brain. So you're thinking like, all right, how do I stop complaining all the time? And one of the ways to stop complaining is practice seeing the good in every situation. Every situation that it is, practice seeing the good in it, or even taking a deep breath before you start complaining, or count down backwards from 10. Doing the little things like that so you don't have to complain about, oh, somebody cut me off in traffic, or oh, why is gas so high, or inflation, or little things like that, little things that happen on your daily basis in life. Just catch yourself before you start complaining and just take a deep breath, or count backwards from 10, or always see the good in every situation. Number two would be learn the use of encouraging language to the people around you and to yourself. Instead of complaining, learn to encourage yourself, encourage the people around you about their habits, about the things that they do, so your first instinct isn't to complain. As well as number three, for ways to improve when it comes to complaining all the time, write down what are you grateful for daily. Expressing gratitude on a daily basis helps you see that life is what you make it. So life is what you make it, and expressing gratitude for every time you wake up, at least writing down 3 things that you're extremely grateful for. Like me today, it was waking up, having a roof over my head, having access to water. Those 3 things right there, not a lot of people have access to, and it really opens up your mind to see more blessings in life instead of always complaining about what you don't have. Number 2 is holding on to resentment. Holding on to resentment. Did you know holding on to resentment is like drinking poison? And y'all like, how's it like drinking poison? Because the more you hold resentment, it takes power over you. You become unwound in other areas of your life. You're not really focused because you're thinking about somebody hurting you in the past or messing you up in the past, that you don't let it go. And it's not holding them down or tearing them down, it's tearing you down because you're holding on to that resentment for something that somebody did years ago, months ago, weeks ago. If somebody does something to you in that moment, hurts you, let it go. Within that moment, you may be the type, no, I gotta carry this resentment, I gotta carry this hate, I gotta carry this grudge against this person because they should never did that. But it's like, it says more about you than them since you're holding that resentment against them. Sometimes we do have to forgive and forget, but not letting that person or letting that thing destroy us on the inside. Because resentment is powerful. I bet you're thinking right now, or you probably know right now, you probably had a resentment against somebody or holding a grudge against somebody till this day. It's not making things any better. So if you have time today, checking on yourself and seeing who you holding a resentment from, who you holding a grudge against, and letting it go. Saying like, they did what they did, I forgive them. Maybe you won't forget, but you just learn to forgive instead of holding that resentment within yourself. And 3 ways to improve on not to hold resentment is commit to focusing on the present and letting go of the past. As humans, we love living in the past. We like that mental prison of the past instead of what happened in the past, what happened a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, what happened yesterday. We have to let it go and move forward. Because the more you hold that grudge or resentment, you're really living in that past, living then, instead of focusing on the right now, the blessings of right now, of where you need to be or what you need to do. Number 2 with that would be understand that everyone makes mistakes, and don't hold that against them. We all make mistakes. We're not perfect. You probably gonna make a mistake today, but learning to forgive others and forgive yourself for not knowing what you knew in the moment. Number 3 of self-destructive habits is waiting for others to make you happy. And this one right here, for me, hits home because I always thought happiness was from somebody else. But other people shouldn't be the keys to why we're happy. Our happiness shouldn't be in their hands. We control our happiness, and we have to figure out what makes you happy. Who makes you happy? Not who makes you happy. What makes you happy? What things in your daily life, what makes you happy? Other people can't always be your happiness. You have to be your own happiness. And how to improve that is work on something you're passionate about daily. Ask yourself, what are you passionate about? Maybe what you're doing now isn't something you really truly love doing. You've probably been at a job forever. You've probably been selling ice cream forever, doing something that you're not truly, you know in your heart that you're not passionate about. So you're like looking for outlets to find the happiness within you. But you have to really sit down with yourself, maybe journal, do some self-reflection, or figure out, what do I love doing? What am I passionate about? What would I love doing on a daily basis if money wasn't involved? I would do this for free for the rest of my life if money wasn't involved, money was an issue. Figure that out and really focus on making that impact instead of making an income. Number 2, for ways to improve would be stop comparing yourself to others. And we tend to do this on a daily basis. You may even do this today. Stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison is a thief of joy. At the end of the day, it's old you versus new you. Who you was yesterday versus who you want to be today. And you got to compare yourself to that instead of comparing yourself to society. Because the more you compare yourself to society, the more you become unraveled. The more you try to strive for stuff that's not really in your alignment. So figure out what makes you happy to where you're not really comparing yourself to other people and other people's accomplishments. We all have different journeys, different stories, different ways of a life. And figuring out what makes me happy, what do I love doing, what am I passionate about, what can I do on a daily basis that I wouldn't stress about. And the last one for how to improve with this one, figure out what makes you happy. Write it down. Like, what truly makes me happy? Not, oh, this makes me happy. What truly makes me happy that every time I do this, I get joy in my heart. Number 4 of self-destructive habits is being your own worst critic. We all do this. We all like to judge ourselves harshly over little simple mistakes that we'll let somebody else pass by. And we can't do that. Ways to improve that is, number 1, stop expecting perfection. Learn to accept your mistakes. Self-acceptance. Accept that you won't always get it right, but you'll learn from that mistake. And that's what it's about. We can't be our own worst critic. Criticizing ourselves too much lowers our self-esteem, lowers our self-confidence, lowers our self-ability to get things done. So perfection, yeah, we all like to strive for perfection, but sometimes we'll have to be like, hey, everything won't be perfect, but it'll be perfect to somebody else. So we can't be our own worst critic when it comes to life. Accept your mistakes. Number 2 on the ways to improve is focus more on your strengths and not your weaknesses. You may have to write this down to where you get a paper, write a little T-graph, and on the left you write strengths, on the right you write weaknesses, and figure out what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. And learning that. And number 3, seeing opportunities that are around you. Sometimes we'll be so focused and caught up in criticizing ourselves that we miss the blessings, miss the lessons, miss the opportunities that's right in front of us. The opportunities to grow, to learn, to figure out how to do better. But that being said, that is the end of this segment. I'm gonna give y'all a brief break and then we're gonna hop into the next segment, which is ways to stop overthinking everything. Thank you guys for tuning in to Sana IE. Another app that I use that's really been helping out is called Humanly. And Humanly combines spiritual, philosophical, scientific, and practical perspectives to create a comprehensive guide towards compassion. Through gifted journaling, habit tracking, lessons, exercises, and insights, users learn to how to fulfill their needs and help them live a wonderful life for themselves and those around them. So, if you haven't had or don't have the Humanly app, check it out and let me know what y'all think. This really helps out when it comes to overthinking as well as the self-destructive habits. Let's get back to the show. And we back, and we back, and we back, and we back. Segment number 2, ways to stop overthinking everything. And I found this and I'm like, yo, this relates to me. Overthinking can become such a habit that you don't even recognize when you're doing it. You're probably overthinking right now, thinking about something that happened in the past, thinking about something that happened yesterday, thinking about what does the future look like? What am I going to do in the future and all that? Instead of being present in this moment right now, it's like we'll be physically present, but mentally elsewhere. And I'm a constant victim of this. Overthinking has come second nature to me, but one of the things that calmed my overthinking is by meditating and journaling to understanding why. Why am I always overthinking my thoughts? Why am I always overthinking, overanalyzing everything? And with meditation, it helped me control my thoughts and be more present in the moment. When you're playing events in your head over and over or worrying about things you can't control, acknowledge this and say, this isn't productive for me, as well as asking yourself, does this thought serve me and is this thought true? Thinking is only helpful when it leads to positive action. Number 2, keep the focus on problem solving. Dwelling on your problems isn't helpful. We all know that. But looking for solutions is. I know you heard this famous saying, where your attention goes, energy flows. Meaning, if you focus on problems, you're creating more problems. But when you focus on solutions, you create more solutions. So if you've been focusing on problems or you've been having a problematic year, change your focus, change your mindset to where you're seeing the solution within everything, that every problem has a solution, no matter what the problem is. If it's something you have control over, consider how you can prevent the problem or challenge yourself to identify the potential solutions. Focus on things you can control, like your attitude and your effort. Number 3, challenge your thoughts. Challenge your thoughts. It's easy to get carried away with negative thoughts. Matter of fact, our brains tend to fixate on negativity more than positivity. Have you ever noticed that we dwell on our losses more than our wins? You could take a trip down memory lane, and what has resonated with you more to this day, a loss or a win? Whether it's a loss in business, loss in career, loss in family, loss in relationships, what has dwelled with you more? And I bet it's the loss versus the win that you got in the process. And that's what our brains tend to do. We tend to focus on the negative, always being reactive instead of proactive. Remember that your emotions will interfere with your ability to look at situations objectively. So take a step back and look at the evidence. What evidence do you have that this thought is true? What evidence do you have that this thought isn't true? And number 4, let go of the past. I'll say it again for the people in the back. Let go of the past. As an overthinker, we often focus on the past, expending our energy on what ifs and should haves. I bet you're doing it right now. Thinking about the past regret that's been holding you back. But what did you learn from it? We all see as regrets as, damn, I regret this, I regret that, I regret doing this, not knowing what to do in that certain situation or in that certain moment. But at the end of the day, you had to learn that lesson to become who you are today. So it's technically not a regret, it's just a lesson you had to learn. And that's what we have to see it as. We can't be like, oh, I regret this, because you have to ask yourself, what did I learn within that moment? What did I learn within that regret? How was it a lesson instead of regret for me? The past can be changed. You have to tell yourself, what happened in the past, it happened. The only thing you can do is change the meaning you give to it, change that power you give to the past. If there's one thing that I can leave y'all with today, it'll be let go of the past. Let go of the regrets. and start focusing on the present and the future. We can't let our past accomplishments, past regrets, past accolades define who we are today. They're just lessons that we had to learn. They helped us, shaped us to become the people that we are today. We can't let the past define us. Number 5, distract yourself. Telling yourself to stop thinking about something will backfire. The more you try to prevent a thought from entering your brain, the more likely it is to keep popping up. Have you noticed that? You're like, all right, I gotta stop thinking about this, stop thinking about this. Every time you tell yourself to stop, it keeps popping up because you're telling yourself to stop instead of learning to distract yourself. Distract yourself and change the channel in your brain by changing the activity. Exercise, engage in conversation of a completely different subject, or work on something that distracts you. Distract yourself when those thoughts come in, when those overthinking thoughts come in. Distract yourself, do something else to take your mind off of that. Number 6, and the final one, live in the moment. Living in the moment is key to learning how to stop overthinking. You can take control of your mind and stop negative emotions in their tracks. Identify overthinking before it spirals out of control and take a minute to reset. Take a minute to reset. Take that time to take a break on a daily, hourly. Take those breaks, because not taking those breaks hourly builds up the overthinking mindset, where you're not taking that time checking yourself and seeing how you're doing and why are you overthinking. Sometimes you have to journal it out. Sometimes you have to take a quick 5-minute meditation or do some deep breathing to get yourself back centered in the present moment. We all know life goes fast, but we have to put the brakes on and really focus on ourselves and stop the overthinking and really just being present in the moment. Daily rituals like meditation can help you retrain your brain to live in the moment, and you'll find out it comes naturally to you. So figuring out, how do I live in the moment? How do I live in the present? How do I stop my overthinking thoughts? Meditating, journaling, doing some deep breathing, getting yourself back centered instead of letting those thoughts overpower you, you taking control and overpowering those thoughts. But that's it for this segment. The 6 ways to stop overthinking. Number 1, notice when you're stuck in your head. Number 2, keep the focus on problem solving. Number 3, challenge your thoughts. Number 4, let go of the past. Number 5, distract yourself. And number 6, live in the moment. I just want to thank y'all for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully this helped you out. And if it did, share it with somebody. Share it with a friend. Share it with a coworker. Share it with a family member who you know that constantly overthinks, or somebody who has self-destructive habits, so we can help them improve their mental health and improve their emotional well-being. In my next episode, I'll be discussing life lessons that I've learned. And this is going to be a good episode because it'll have a lot of self-reflection within ourselves. But I hope y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Take care of yourselves. Love yourselves. Stay hydrated. I know we in the summer and it's hot literally in every part of the world. So take care of yourself. And I'm going to leave y'all with this. Not putting yourself first is a disservice to your happiness.